thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world.
What's up? It's your boy Humble Dad back with another edition of Humble Dad Podcast. Got a great show for you for sure. Why? Because I said so. We're gonna talk about why dating pool is trash. Now, the reason why I had this question come up was because I was listening to Keon Henderson. If you don't know who that is Shawnee husband from Shaq's old wife, ex-wife, and he was talking about how the question was, is it the picker or is the picker being too picky? That's what the question was. And so I said, man, that's interesting. We always talking about the dating pool, and I have my particular perspective about the dating pool. I'm out of it now. However, there I know people that are still in it. And so I wanted to talk about why that is. And we have some people that's going to come up. We're going to talk about that. But before we get to that, we're going to have a question of the day to get to know the people on a small level. And the question is, what is your favorite breakfast cereal growing up? And then we're going to say, well, how about today? All right. You know, as adults, we'll see. And we're going to welcome to the stage, Mr. Barry White himself.
Good evening. What's
going on, bro?
How are you today, sir?
It's a day, bro. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for asking.
That's what's
Listen,
up.
My favorite cereal growing up was Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch was all gas and no brakes. You know what I'm saying? Straight sugar. You know what I'm saying? And the killer part about it, I'm old enough to remember when Captain Crunch used to have the toy in it. They'd give you like a little plastic submarine and you put baking soda in and you watch it go up and down in the sink. That used to be my favorite cereal. But today, it is Raisin Bran with no sugar. That's it, man. Raisin Bran with no sugar, sir.
That's a man. Appreciate you being here as usual.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, absolutely. And welcome to the stage, the one that agrees with everybody, none of the time. My dude, Prototype.
Man, what's going on, man?
I'm good, man. What you got in the court?
My favorite cereal growing up was Frosted Flakes. Quite frankly, because that's the only one my mama would buy. She was too stubborn to get food stamps. She was too prideful to get food stamps. So, like, when I would go over other people's house, they had the Fruity Pebbles and all that. You know what I'm saying? But Frosted Flakes is what I was kind of raised on. I don't eat cereal now. So,
okay. That's what's up. No worries. Hey, and welcome to the stage, Mr. Unk. What's good, bro?
Good evening, you distinguished gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Doing well yourself, distinguished.
Good. My favorite cereal when I was little was Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries.
You like the berries, bro?
Yeah, man. The Crunch Berries used to be fire. You know what I'm saying? You needed that energy to run them Chicago streets. You know, jumping off of garages on the pissy mattress and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Playing tag, you had to have that sugar. But right now, I'm there with my boy Lick. You know what I'm saying? That Raisin Bran do you every time, Daddy. That's what I do. If I do eat cereal, I ain't gonna lie to y'all though. I fell back in love with Sugar Smacks though, with Honey Smacks.
Oh,
right. I was like, I don't know why I just had a hankering for them. Now I tasted them. I was like, okay. And to me, it's like Raisin Bran and Honey Smacks is the only cereals that taste like they was when I was little.
Kind of like the nostalgia a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Appreciate you being here, homie.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, and we got a new guest. You know what I'm saying? She was with us last week or so with the group of women, and she got a podcast that y'all need to go check out. We welcome Miss Jamie to the building. How you doing?
Hey, man? Thank you for having me. I am. Do I have to say my name? I didn't pay attention.
Say whatever you want to say.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So my name is Jamie, and my favorite breakfast cereal really. Okay, so look, y'all said it, and I feel like I need to not say it because I don't want to be like y'all.
No, but it's your favorite, though.
Don't worry about what we're doing, baby. That's your favorite. That's your favorite.
So Captain Crunch was my favorite. you know, and then Rice Krispies, of course, because you can put all the sugar you want in that.
Ooh.
You feel me? But
You really
now,
weren't putting sugar in it. You was putting it at the bottom of the bowl.
Facts.
but you gotta let you know that last 2-3 scoops. You feel me? Like when you get all of it at that one time,
Mhm.
you know what I'm talking about. And then
What-
you drink
yeah.
the milk because
Right.
the milk and sugar. Come on.
Diabetes. We know what you're talking about. That childhood diabetes.
That childhood diabetes. That's what's up.
But now I don't eat cereal. I don't drink milk either. So
Okay. No worries. Appreciate you being here. Hey, and welcome to the stage. She knew me before I was home with dad. Miss Tava, how's it going?
It's going very good. How are y'all over here?
Doing
Thank
well.
you.
Thanks for
Good,
being
good,
here.
good. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. So my favorite breakfast cereal growing up was Corn Pops. And now yeah. And now my favorite cereal when I do eat them would be the Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's what's up. Okay.
Mm.
That's what's up. Taking us back. Hey, that's
You
what's
said
up.
corn pop.
She did.
Yeah.
She said corn pops,
But
man.
my children eat them all the time now. I don't eat them as much, but the boys love them now.
That's what's up. Hey, and welcome to the stage, Mr. Hank in the building. What's good, homie?
What's going on, fellas and ladies? How y'all doing tonight?
What's happening, Hank?
Doing well, man. Thank
Right
you for
on.
joining us, bro.
Right on. I guess we talk about favorite cereal when you was a kid.
And then now, so favorite as a kid, and if you have one now.
Okay. As a kid, we couldn't really afford a Captain Crunch, so we had to eat the King Vitamin. I don't know if they had any.
Damn.
Oh yeah, right.
Damn.
So yeah,
King Vitamin.
yeah.
That's that Wick cereal. You don't know.
Didn't even
nothing
have it in the
about that.
box.
Wick cereal.
It
wasn't even in the box.
Man, came in a no. King Vitamin used to come in a box.
Oh yeah, it did. It did. Dude with the crown on it.
Yeah, but they moved it to bags once they start. Y'all.
So that was that. I had no choice but to be my favorite cereal. Because really, all we could afford. But like right now, Raisin Bran. I do like Raisin Bran, but I like the crunchy Raisin Bran. So that's my favorite now when I eat cereal.
Okay, that's what's up. My favorite growing up definitely was it was the fake Captain Crunch. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember the name of it.
It was Commander Crunch. That's who it was. Commander
Great
Crunch.
Value, one of the two. For sure. And then because I like the crunchy, and then when it got soft, but you couldn't wait too long before it gets soggy, you know, but it had that right amount of crunchy. So I like that. I didn't do the berries, the crunchy berry. And then now I don't really eat cereal, but when I do, I would say Frosted Flakes. Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what some of those right now we have the Halloween Captain Crunch. We got it at this place called Ollie. Have y'all heard of a place called Ollie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we got. They must have stole them off the truck or something because they definitely really cheap. I think it was like $2.50 for a family box. If you know, you know. Okay. Well, appreciate y'all being here. And we're gonna have a good conversation, you know. And we're gonna be nice to the guest, Prototype. All right. I ain't saying no names. And the first question, and we've talked about this before, but we're gonna kind of put it all together. Dating versus courting. Dating versus courting. Okay. You're gonna give us your thoughts on what it is and if there is a difference. And we'll start with one of the veterans. Lost in translation. What you got?
Dating is the exploratory, the beginning phases of courting. You want to see if this is somebody who's worth your time, somebody who has the same idea of being married as you. Are they going in the same direction, basically? Now, courting is different. Courting, when you've made that decision, say, hey, look, you know, we're pretty much going in the same direction. We're going to start seeing each other exclusively. And we're going to do this until, you know, we get to the point where we want to get married, you know, so that's the whole purpose, you know, so I think that's the major difference is the where you begin part, you know, and I'm going to go with Tay. Yes, right out the chute.
All right. I'm here for it. Dating and courting for me, I don't think that dating leads to courting. I think they're two separate spaces. I believe that friendship leads to courting and dating is temporary. Dating is informal. Courting is the stage I would go after building friendship and knowing from this friendship if I want to lead or if I want to go towards marriage. So, friendship, courting, marriage. Dating is just all out there by itself. I'm just trying to play around for a little bit, get to know as many people as I have the desire to know. I think dating is informal, courting more formal.
That's a bet. Who you got going next?
Oh, okay, then let's go, Jamie.
Like I thought you were gonna pick one of the men or something like that. You just
I can. Let me
oh,
see.
no, it's okay. We're good. No,
Okay.
I so dating, I would say collecting data, like just to even say if you want to go into the friendship realm with that person, right? So, but then I'm just gonna keep it simple. Dating data, and then like you said, I agree with you, Miss Foster, as far as the courting. I mean, friendship and then courting. Like, are we going to go to that level? And that keeps it that simple. I don't know. I don't think anybody does it in that order. So it's kind of like I feel like I'm saying something that I probably have never experienced. If you want to be completely honest, I just feel like I'm just saying this because I've never experienced it. It sounds good, but I don't feel like is what the world does right now. If you want me to be honest, that's my honest opinion. I don't know.
Well, hopefully
I
you
don't know what
always
it's
gonna
supposed
be
to look like. Because I did the courting, the friendship to courting part, and then I'm single right now. So you can do all of that and still end up being single. I don't know what to tell anybody. That's my answer. I don't know no more. Okay.
No worries. Who you got going next? Who you got going next, Miss Jamie?
Let's go with Prototype. Did he answer?
Oh no, but he about to.
Man, dating is somebody you like hook up with and like y'all go out to eat sometime, y'all go catch a movie, y'all go bowling sometime, but y'all have sex after because you're not dating unless you're having sex. Courting is y'all go to church together. They meet your peoples, they come into your house for the barbecue. You get to know each other that way. You know what I mean? That's for me. That's the difference between like dating and courting. Like dating, you don't know your friends. I don't know your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like I never met your dad. You know what I'm saying? We go bowling, we go have a good time. We come back to the crib, get a smack, and I'll see you next weekend. You know what I'm saying? But courting's a little bit more personal when when you're thinking about, oh, I know his mom, or I know his family, or we go to church together. The pastor kind of see us hanging out together. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference for me. What up, what you got?
Dating is stupid. Dating is casual, as in, I see you when I see you. Dating doesn't require any intent. None whatsoever. Right? I don't know why they try to switch it up. What they called it when I was young, we talking. We just talking, right? But when you talking, I'm talking to you, talking to you, talking to you. I'm damn sure talking to her. Courting is what you should be doing. Again, I understand how people want to do it, right? You want to date a lot of people, but it's no different than when you at work and you got a bunch of stuff to do. When you at home and you got a bunch of stuff to do. When you out and about and you got a bunch of stuff to do. If you're dealing with a bunch of people when you're being casual, that means you can't really put your attention where it needs to be focused on. Courting, that's what it is. It's me and you, we walk in here with an intent to be together in the long run. That's the difference between dating and courting. Hank, what's happening?
Say one would be a hard choice. I'm the only one left. Unless Uncle Dad was going to answer. As far as dating, to me, yeah, I'm not obligated to one individual woman. Every woman has the opportunity to date me. That's how I see it. I'm not obligated to one individual person that I'm talking to or having conversation with, or I'm going out with or entertaining at all. So anything. So you can't be mad at me if you see me out with another young lady and you out with your friends. You can't be mad. We're just dating. That's all we are. I'm not obligated to you. Now, once I'm courting you, then that's what it is. Now I'm investing into you. Now I'm letting you know my plans in my future and what my expectation is as far as a relationship and possible marriage. So that's the difference for me.
That's what's up. Anybody have anything to add or comment on that? All right. That's a good start. I would say pretty much the same as everybody else. Dating is casual. Courting is intentional. I would say both are probably intentional. You know, one is more likely to lead you to where there is no obligation, as well. When we look at courting, there is a intention to have an obligation to move towards marriage, right? So that's my take on it. I think that's why it's interesting to me, this question as it relates to the dating pool, because the conversation out there is about the dating pool being trash. And so I think I want to ask the question, how should one approach the conversation of dating versus courting? How should one approach the dating versus courting conversation? And I'm just typing here. And we're going to start with you, Prototype. How should one approach the dating versus courting conversation? You know, like are you gonna just come out and say, listen, we dated, or are we courting? Like, how does that conversation go?
With dating, you don't. I think with either or, you don't really have to say too much. I think your intention shows it all, right? With dating, you really don't have to say anything. Like, it's just something you're doing. With courting, maybe, I mean, if she's blind, then you might have to you might have to vocalize your intentions. But if I'm taking you to church, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're at my barbecue, like, you know what I'm saying? There's something going on here. This ain't just we out, you know. So yeah, I don't think there's really any conversation to be had unless somebody's stupid. But let's go with lost.
You know what? Oh my goodness. You have to make sure that you talk to them about their intention, man. You know, some people, when you're dating, they automatically assume that you're exclusive, you know. So you really want to go ahead and get that out the way, man. Just say, hey, look, you know, we're dating, but you can still date other people, because I'm pretty sure you want to make sure that you find the right match, as I do. So, you know, you can go out and date or do whatever it is you need to do. But when it gets to the point where you guys are courting, don't embarrass me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here embarrassing you. Don't embarrass me. You know, you're gonna mess it up. So yeah, you want to go ahead and have that conversation about intention, man, because some people start off, you know, assuming that, you know, you guys are exclusive. And I think that's where a lot of communication fails in the dating pool. You know, when you can meet somebody, all of a sudden it's the excitement phase, it's the honeymoon phase. And then all of a sudden you guys kind of, you know, belong to each other without saying. So, I mean, that's a conversation that, you know, adults need to have. I'm going to go with Dwayne with the next one. Welcome to the show, sir.
What it do, y'all? Go ahead and
What's happening?
Hey, he got you coming in hot, bro. You got the question?
Yes, I do. How should one approach dating versus courting? See, I guess I think they're the same. Well, the way I approach it anyways. So the whole date to marry thing, right? So I think that's the whole courting process. That's been me. So that versus
you going on so when you was going out with your wife, she automatically knew that it was about to lead to marriage.
Did she? It didn't matter
Bruh,
what she
heard my question, Dwayne. Stop playing.
My
Yes.
bad. My bad.
Hey, don't mind me and Dwayne. We friends in real life. You know what I'm saying? Offline. We talked like 3 times today. Okay.
Yeah, no.
So is that how it was? You like, hey, babe, listen, we gonna get married, or she just should have already known.
Yeah, I think it was like, yeah, it was intentional. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, I told her early on I'd marry. I told her early on I'd marry her. Yeah,
Really?
then it just manifested, spoke it into existence. Come on, brother. Cue the organs.
Who you got going next, bro?
Mr. Hink, you went yet? Come on with it.
Not yet, but I am. So, how should I approach? Well, as far as me dating, you know, I'm gonna just pretty much ask you basic questions, right? I'm not gonna ask you a whole lot. I just need to know the basics, just to know that you're not a serial killer, and that I'm good. But when I'm courting you, I'm interrogating you, because now I need to know everything about you, because I'm taking you serious. I realize I pinpoint you as the one that I want to be with, that I want to not only be around on a regular basis, that I may want to bless with my last name. So I'm going to interrogate the person I'm courting. You're just gonna get general questions as far as I'm dating. So that's my difference.
Who you got going next?
Let's go with one of the ladies, Miss Jamie.
Okay, so I would agree with Lost in Translation that the conversation needs to be had on what are we doing. Just like from the get, like if you just want to date, fine. If you want to court, okay, like what's the intention? Prototype, I'm actually shocked at your answer of saying that somebody should just know that, and if they didn't know, they were just stupid, because a lot of times I've heard men say if a man doesn't say it, then you should never assume, right? And so that threw me off, and I just really I actually want to understand which one are we supposed to listen to, because
a cop out.
It's a cop out.
That's him trying to throw you off the scent. Like maybe he's been dating, messing with you for a while, and he's like, I really don't like her. But I
haven't had anybody tell me that, but I've heard like from other podcasts, men say the same thing.
Saying, yeah, I mean that's bro coding, you know what I mean? Like, but men, we know.
Wait, back up. That's what?
That's a part of the bro code. Like, you know what I'm saying? We know.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. All right. That's all. Thanks. That's my answer. Communication. Just state your intention.
Who you got going next, Jamie?
Who went? Okay, he went. I know, Miss Foster, you didn't go. I'm gonna pick you, but I don't know what other guy didn't go. Maybe Rick.
Okay. I think the important word of the question is conversation. I think a lot get lost and confused and misunderstood because no one's just communicating. And so I think a conversation has to be had, and that conversation needs to include clear expectations. Either I'm going to give you, as the female, what my expectations are. You're going to let me know if you can meet them or not. And then it's going to be vice versa. You're going to give me your expectations, and then I'm going to say if I can meet them or not, or if I accept them or not. And we have that conversation, and then we don't fool ourselves about what we can pull from a person when they've been clear about what they're willing to offer at this point in time. And I wanted to piggyback off of Jamie's concern about people just being stupid. I think that everyone comes from a different world. So everyone doesn't have the same experience with the other person. So what may seem clear to one may not be clear to the other, or some type of experience for one may be clean slate, but it may be triggering for another. Like the example of if I'm taking you to church, maybe you had someone taking you to church as a female. Maybe I've had someone taking me to church. And then that turned out that he was taking homegirl down the street to church too on the 2nd and 4th Sundays. So and taking me on the 1st and 3rd Sundays. I mean, I go to church on Saturday, but
Like, who are you
So-
taking on? Who are you taking on 5th?
somebody else. Right. And so if that's my experience from the past, then that's not clear to me that that you want this next stage for me. So I think that men and women need to be specific in their expectations through a verbal conversation. And I think Uncle Rick was the last person who needed to go. Yeah.
Whew. Dating is just that. I mean, a courtship would look how I look at this. It's not nothing until I tell you it's something. It's not nothing until I tell you it's something. I control relationships. Y'all control sex. It's just the way it goes. Right? Until I say, are you my girl, or would you be my girl, or are we going steady? Right? Are we in a committed relationship? It's nothing. You got to say it. You got to say it, because until you say it. Oh, okay. Because Proto shaking his head. Let me use you for example, Big Pimp. Just like the lady said, that, like we said last week, right? That woman was somebody before you, right? I mean, you gonna mold her for you, but she was somebody before you, right? But Prototype, she ain't never been to a fancy place like Manny's, right? She ain't never been to Smith and Walensky's, right? To her, that's a grand gesture. But for Prototype, it's just a Thursday, right? I'm going to get this Wagyu filet with the mashed potatoes, right? I'm gonna drop this little 300-400. It's whatever, right? But to her, she look at, ooh, girl, he took me out to Smith and Walensky's in Vegas, and I ain't never did. This man must really love. Hey, this is just how I move. Until I say it, it's nothing. Until I claim you as my girl, you not my girl. You can think about it all you want. You can let me hit you up. You can let me hit that box. That's why women ask you after y'all have sex a couple of times, what are we? What are we doing here? It's nothing until I say so. We control relationships, access to relationships. They control sex. It's just how it goes. That's all I got.
That's what's up. Anybody got something? I think Jamie, you was you pointing, or you had a question?
Yeah, I guess you want me to answer.
Yeah,
what you just said, right?
I was pointing at Prototype.
Yeah. No, I get it, right? Because I say you already know you shouldn't have to say nothing, right? But to piggyback on that, if to me it's simple, right? So if a guy is just taking you to this nice fancy restaurant and y'all haven't built that up for you to even deserve that, you're taking this nice grand gesture. You barely know, dude. Come on, man. He's buying you. That's him buying the box. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead, take her to this nice restaurant. You know what I'm saying? She gonna think it's something else, blah, 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 blah. Y'all lack the discernment to understand that I haven't even built the chemistry with this dude for me to even express this, or for this to be that important. It must not be important to him if he's just doing that off rip. You know what I'm saying? Because we all had that experience of late night talks. You get off the phone. No, you get off the phone. Where y'all built up that chemistry. That's how you know it's real. That's what I'm saying. This stuff is going on. I don't have to tell you, oh, you're my girl at that point. If we're talking, communicating, you know, and I don't want to hang up the phone, and I'm taking you to meet my mom. I'm taking you to that, you know, to my grandma's. It's all encompassing. It's not just going to church, but it's a part of it. It's me taking you to church. It's me taking you to my mom's house for the family functions. I'm bringing you to the family functions, and I'm gonna throw you away? No, that's not how that works. So you can't just be like, oh, it's just church. No, it's more than that. It's the church. It's the time y'all putting in. It's the conversations where y'all talking about y'all day. It's all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what you need to have to understand that it's real or not.
I have to rebuttal. I have seen men do all of that and it still go absolutely nowhere. So I've seen it. I'm a hairdresser, right? So like I've seen it, I've heard it, I've heard all of that. Like I've heard a man doing all of that, building on the phone, talking all late night, and it's still absolutely go nowhere because he was actually doing that with a few people. He's just really good at what he does, like he had a rotation of people. And so I just have to kind of like, again, I have to disagree with you. I think I'm gonna agree with Rick when he said, if I don't say it to you, if I'm not claiming you, it's not nothing. I'm
That
gonna have to
dude
go
you're-
with it.
That dude you're talking about has probably said that too. He's probably gave you "I love you." He's probably said you're the only one. So if he's doing all that, putting all that work in, he told all y'all the same thing. So no matter if I tell you or not, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could tell you I love you. I could tell you you're my girl. Yeah, I'm telling her the same thing.
See, that's why the dating pool is trash. This right here. This is what we're
Oh,
talking
we
about.
about
This is
to
why
get to it. We about to
You know what
get
I'm
to
saying?
it. We
Like,
about to get to it. That's what we
You
need to
took
do.
the words right out of my mouth.
Hey,
So,
say that
so
one
can I
right
say,
there.
can I say something real fast?
There's an
Can I say
issue
something real
right
fast? I
Yeah.
don't
ahead,
agree
Nick.
with what Prototype is saying. Because for me, if I'm taking a woman serious now, if I'm somebody I'm dating, then I'm you're gonna get very little to nothing out of me. But if somebody I'm courting, I'm gonna let them know what it is because I want that same respect because I don't want you to be holding back information or not telling me stuff that I need to know or share because now I'm set the precedent as the man. If I start doing it, then she gonna think, oh, that's okay. He's accept that. Then I'm gonna play it like that, and I don't like that. And I wouldn't want nobody to do. I wouldn't want that woman to do me like that. So I'm not gonna do her like that. So I'm gonna tell her what it is. So because I don't want that crazy woman to be putting sugar in my tank because I didn't let her know up front what it is. Now I'll be honest. You might not like it, and you might not like how I say it, but I'm gonna tell you. So take it as you may.
Yeah, and I'm gonna piggyback right off that too, because for me, I done said it. Like I told her I'd marry her, right? So in that, before me telling her, I had to tell myself. So guess what? I'd be lying to two people. I'd be lying to myself and I'd be lying to her. Or, as Prototype says, I'd be lying to everybody. But then the most important person I'd be lying to for my sake would be myself. So first I told myself that this is the one, right? So that means all that extracurricular stuff that I was doing or used to doing, I had to change that. And then making that commitment to say, hey, I'm exclusive now. So
Anyone else?
Hey,
I just
Dwayne,
have a quick question if we have the time for a
Oh yeah,
prototype.
it's a conversation.
Okay. I just wanted to know, are you opposed to having the necessary conversations, whichever way it goes? Are you opposed to having those conversations? Or you just feel like, hey, we should use our intellect and carry on?
no, I'm not opposed to the conversation. I mean, like I said, to me, it's self-explanatory. You know, so if I don't know, but I wanted to kind of ask Dwayne though. Have you had more than a one? Is there multiple girls that you ever thought like this could be the one?
How you press
Mute
a
Monster
button and
got you,
still
bro.
be on mute? Dwayne,
Mute
you on
Monster
mute,
got you.
bro.
I appreciate that. Thank y'all. I thought y'all were already trying
Listen,
to jump
bro,
on me
I'm gonna
already
try to see if I can
for
run it back
questioning.
and
I
make
was
a
like, well, I was
compilation
already
of you on
rebutting the
mute.
rebuttal. My bad. On mute. Fight with myself. No, my bad. Yeah, you know what? I've been marriage minded, right? So in that dating process, that was the mindset. So traversing and I guess that would go to your point, like trying to tell to everybody, but I didn't tell to everybody. I had to mature into it because I'll even put it like this.
Did you
I
tell
cheated
more
on.
than one? Is all I'm asking.
No, just one other. But I'll say it like this. I was very, very, very intentional in my actions because my wife is the only girlfriend or woman that I didn't cheat on. So from that standpoint, right? Like that's how I knew there was a difference. Because like what you got to put all that put it all away, and then burn the ships and go on about your way. So yes, I may have had thoughts because I was getting to that particular point. I was in my early 20s, 22. I was like, hey, I want to get married. So everyone that I dated with the intention to marry, and eventually, hey, it just didn't work out. And if it didn't work out for a specific reason, but I wasn't going out there sitting there trying to sell them the dream, talking about I'm the one for you and you the one for me. No, I wasn't lying to nobody. Especially I wasn't lying to myself.
To answer your question, Prototype.
Yeah. So with that said, I mean, there's multiple girls you can say that to, like, hey, you the one, or I'll marry you. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of girls that I thought might be the one. I don't believe in the one per se. You know what I'm saying? There's what you have, and you know what I'm saying, and you make the best decision with what you got. Cool.
Well, so I guess what you're getting at is, are you malicious in your intent?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm not asking if you're malicious. I'm just saying.
No, because in it, like whenever you say it, like the other guys who are the dogs who are malicious in their intent, that's what the purpose in which they do it for. They're selling the dream because they're gullible in that sense, and they're willing to buy it, right? But you're really trying to sell a product, which is yourself. Like in that, like in order for a girl to like you, like they hold the access to sex, as y'all said, right? So in that, like you are trying to, they have to say yes to a date too. So in that, like you're putting yourself out there, and if there's chemistry, then they'll build from that. But people are trying to just build it not with a malicious intent. Knock it down and get out.
The thing is that you have somebody you gotta, to me specifically in this situation, the man has to say something, because this is one of the worst places for anybody to assume what's going on. Right? It's not safe for a woman to assume at that point, right? Because if she's throwing herself into something that really not looking out to be something, and she look like a fool. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time, right? Stuff not real until it come out your mouth, right? Otherwise, it's just a thought in your head, right? You got to manifest it. And again, it also puts on the ground floor the understanding of what the hell is going on. This is where I'm at. It gives her the opportunity to see where he's at and to see where he stands, where she stands with him, and vice versa. It also sets the ground floor to the relationship. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is my intent. This is where I'm looking to go. I think it makes the decisions a lot easier for everybody when you just put it out there on the table. But that's just me.
Yeah, Rick, and I strongly agree with you, because then that goes with the motive and the intentions, and I believe that's where the maliciousness comes in, whereas you say something, but then your actions don't match up. I think then going back to the topic about the conversation, like having that conversation, but also the nonverbal communication as well. So in that, you're able to pick up on cues and read cues, and to see that, hey, you know what, I'm for that person and that person's for me, and then being able to discern. And I think part of the maturity process is having the ability to discern. And some of the times discerning comes through lessons, and it's hard, tough lessons.
Y'all have me thinking. I was transitioning to, and I had a question. I had to change it. Rick, you was kind of on the pace of it, so I'm gonna ask it like this: what is the value in men determining the pace of the relationship? Because if women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. What is the value in men determining the pace of the relationship? We'll start with you, Hank. What is the value in men determining the pace of the relationship?
What is the value?
Why is that important?
It should be. There's no reason why it should. If you're a man, shouldn't move off a woman. Woman should move off a man. There's no way I'm moving off the pace of a woman, because as me as a leader and as a person responsible, I got to make sure I set the tone. I have to make sure I set the tone. If I go by her step, we're gonna be moving everything off feelings and emotions, and that's a bad thing. Nothing against you ladies, but that's not good to move off emotions and feelings. I can't do that all the time, and most ladies do it 90% of the time. That's how I move. So it's valuable that I set the tone and how we're gonna move, how we're gonna operate. That's why the woman I'm just dating, she knows very little to no information. She's not entitled to that because I haven't determined you as a one, so I'm gonna keep it moving until I find a one. Now the one who I'm courting, who I find deep, I'm telling you the game plan. This is what it is. This is how I move. This is how I operate. Now, hopefully you can buy in, but if you can't, I understand. Hopefully you willing to invest in what I'm trying to do for us. It's going to be beneficial to our future. Are you down with one pot? You can't move like that. That's cool. I understand. Not everybody's built for this, and you're not built for me. So it's very important in my goals and what I want to accomplish as a future husband, that she knows this is how I move. And we have that tough, and I believe, and I'm all for it. I say it all the time, man, we got to have a tough conversation regardless of the outcome of the result of what she says or what she doesn't say. If she says what you think you want to hear and she shows it in her actions, then move forward. Then if she doesn't, leave at a restaurant.
Man, leave it at the restaurant. Who you got going next, Hank?
Prototype, go ahead, big brother. I know you want this. You want it bad, brother.
I actually don't know what to say because I mean, for me, the pace is the pace. It's not necessarily man, like is the pace? Are we talking about when something's happening in a relationship, or like I said, to me, I don't know. The pace is the pace. It's just it's natural for me. So if this is the way we're going, like if you're here all the time and what I'm saying, like I said, we got to a point where you're around my family like that. And what I'm saying, we're at church together and what I'm saying, and we're playing sports together. We done probably did like some type of multi-level marketing together. Like, what I'm saying? If this is where we're going, like, what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. I don't understand how
So you're saying, so let me ask you, Prototype. So you and your wife, y'all hanging out for this many amount of years. How many years did y'all court or date before you got married?
4.
All right, so for 4 years y'all hanging out. She became.
But it was.
Listen, I'm trying to set the scene.
Okay.
Prototype, right? So y'all chilling, hanging out, playing b-ball, shooting, shooting outside of the school, things of that nature. She coming to meet your family, right? Y'all going on all these different dates, and then all of a sudden you just be like, "Babe, would you marry me?" Is that how it happened?
You want to know how we got married?
You just pulled up to the courthouse,
bro.
Say, babe,
it was actually like it was like that, and then I moved to Atlanta, and she moved to California. She moved back to Atlanta. When she moved back to Atlanta, we was like around each other for like 2 weeks, and her birthday was coming up. And I was like, "What you want to do for your birthday?" She was like, "Let's get married." Okay. Went to the courthouse on her birthday, and that's how we got married.
Wait a minute. What episode are we on? What episode?
This is probably like this is 155. This is 155.
Man, this is season 4. We done finally got done to the get down on how it happened.
I'm telling you, it was that simple, dog. It wasn't rocket science, man. Like it wasn't rocket science. So
who you got going next, Prototype? I'm sure somebody got something to ask.
Let's go with Tay.
Tay, let's get it.
I wanted to make sure that I differentiate correctly because the question says pace, but Hank spoke about tone. So are we using pace and tone interchangeably, or are those two separate things?
Well, this is how I go. This is how I rock with it on the show. You read the question, right? And then you go at it how you want to go at it. No matter how somebody else has put it together.
Okay, pace needs to be consensual. I don't think that there is a value in man choosing or woman choosing separately, because pace is the speed that we're going to take things. And so we need to be consensual. We need to be on the same page. We need to be walking together when it comes to that. Now, tone, I would love to operate in my femininity and let my man lead. And if I am at the point where I want to let him lead, then he has proven himself a leader. And so then I would be all right with allowing him or stepping back to let him lead, determine the tone of the relationship. But as far as pace, I think we both need to be in agreement on how fast or how slowly we're going to take this thing.
Okay, that's what's
Yeah,
up.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not gonna like I said when I was talking about pace, I'm not gonna let a woman move me when I want to move. As a man, I got way more to lose than you. Financially, I have way more to lose than you. Now, mostly we both want to lose, right? You know, it's going to all determine on how hard we take it. But that financial aspect is a big difference between what happens between me and you. And so I have to make sure I investigate into you. I make sure that everything is on the up and up. And so you're not going to sit there and tell me, oh, I want to get married. No. I'm going to determine it when I'm going to get the ring. Now, you may determine on what type of ring you may want, but I'm going to determine whether it's going to be cleared through the finances or not. Yeah, it's not affordable for me. So we're going to have to downsize a little bit. It's our first year now. We get to that 10-year anniversary, I'm gonna get that ring you talking about, because we made a mark, a significant mark. But how we move with it, let me tell you when you're gonna determine what wedding dress you're gonna pick out, the colors of the wedding, the cake. I'm gonna let you do all of that. That's the only thing I'm gonna move on. Other than that, I'm going to take control of that.
Then I guess the conversation has to be to define pace, because for you're speaking financial pace, and I get that. I agree. I would never, by the grace of God, propose. So by the grace of God, I will never propose. But what about the sexual involvement, right? You don't get to do anything sexually unless I give you permission to. And so then that type of pace has to be discussed. And so I guess we would have to sit down and have a conversation on our definitions of pace. So
this what I'm talking.
Did you hear
what I said?
I mean, but it's the same thing
No need to explain.
I can't take from you what you don't.
No need to explain. No need to explain. My stuff is circular because it's true. Right? This is what I'm saying. Everybody has the understanding, but you want to fake, right? You want to fake like you supposed to have input on something you don't have. I have no input on when you're going to give me some box. None. You give me box when you're ready. So we get married when I'm ready. We get a house when I'm ready. You know why? Because that's my job. Just like you said, you ain't going to let me lead shit. You ain't going to let me do nothing. I'm moving here. And if you're with it, great. If not, get back out there to dating.
So what would be the term that you would prefer that I use?
It doesn't matter what the term is. I prefer for you to be a lady and sit in your femininity, right? And then ride the train. Because I'm, like I said, you don't determine the space, ladies, or relate, because you're not responsible for it. I have to provide you with a space, right? I have to make sure the kids are taken care of financially, right? I got to make sure you get the house you want. I got to make sure I got $3,500 to battle of ugly, fluffy ass dog you want. Right? It's what we're responsible for. You're responsible for what you're responsible for. And unfortunately, one of the big problems in relationships is, again, women feel you have to let your man lead. No, either your man's a leader or he's not. You don't let me do anything, just like I don't let you do anything. You're a grown ass woman. You choose to be here. The door works both ways. Right? And I'm not trying to disrespect or shoot your point down. I'm just saying that It's funny how when we discuss it, everyone has the understanding, but when you're in it, everybody forget about it. Everybody
said I
forgets
didn't-
about it.
You said I didn't have to explain earlier, but I do believe that I do need to add a little clarity. Okay. At no point do I desire to be in the position of provider or protector. I expect that the man who is in my space intimately or romantically will be provider, will be protector. I expect to be able to walk in my femininity wholeheartedly. Okay. All the way, wholeheartedly, not cold-heartedly. And I believe that the confusion came in when I used the word let. Let me back up and use a better precision of language.
Let's get it.
Okay. let me be more precise in my word choice. It is true. I agree with you that if I have to let you as a man do anything, then you are not my man. Okay. I want you to come in your masculinity. I want you to come in leading. So let me just clarify that. I'm not sure why I use the word let, but that is not the word that I intend.
I know why, but it's cool, right? The only thing
Explain.
you need,
Let me know.
because you have the understanding, you're a woman, right? You believe you put most women, and this is our women, believe you guys have something to do with a man being great, right? With a man being what he's supposed to be, because we're your men. No, I'm great because I'm great. Right? I'm great. I'm a good man because I'm a good man. You just happen, right? If you my wife, you just happen to benefit from it because how the song go prototype. I choose you, baby. Right? I chose you. At the end of the day, the only thing you let me do is let me get that pussy. You hear what I'm saying? That's what you let me do. Right? But you with me because I do the things that, like you said, your expectations, right? Those expectations that you said you talked about before we even get deep in this thing. Right? Because I move like a man, I talk like a man, I handle my business like a man. Right? The problem is, like I said, everybody want to put their foot in ponds that don't belong to them. I don't want to sit with you and your girlfriends while y'all having discussions or go to baby showers. I don't want to do that. Right? Nor do I want to have to deal with decorating the house. I'll move the furniture when you need me to do. Right? We all here to do what we all here to do. And the problem is that, again, like I said, people want to put their feet in ponds that it don't belong.
Who next? Who like somebody started this
Lost
conversation?
ain't go yet. I don't think Jamie won either.
Lost ain't win and Jamie ain't win. Jamie, you've been thinking. Lost always thinking. But Jamie, Lost always have something to say, but you're a guest, so we'll let you go.
Okay. I was over here just minding my business, letting them go back and forth. But okay, so what I gathered, let's see, pace of the relationship. Basically, yes, if we go by the thought process of men have the key to the relationship, we have the key to sex, then yes, the pace is set by the man. That's the simple. It is. Like, I could date you for 10 years and you can never say we're going to be in a relationship. And obviously we've seen that, right? And then you see Prototype was dating for 4 years and she didn't know if she was going to get married. She just said it and he said, okay. And so, luckily that's where he wanted. But he could have said no that day, right? So technically the relationship is set, paced by the man. Whether we like to admit that or not, it's the truth. And I don't have any rebuttal, I guess. I do feel like a woman brings more value than what Rick said, other than, you said all we do is give you the box. But I mean, like, that's up to you. Like, I don't like kind of like arguing with men that think like that, because what you're saying is all I'm good for is having babies and
did I say that? Did I say that
No,
though?
but it seemed like it because you said
See what
all
happens when you
you
assume
give
though.
is the box. That's what you
No,
said.
all
You just box.
again,
That's what you
again, my
emphasis. That's what the emphasis was right
okay,
there when you said it.
okay. My sister, I said the only thing you have to let me get is the box, because that requires a woman's consent, correct?
Right. But you also said that a woman, like you do all this stuff, you do the providing, the protecting. You said that there was no
Correct.
value that a woman can bring to
No,
a man
no,
because you're already great. You said, nah,
no,
you said,
no.
I'm great. I'm
Let
not
me know
great
when you're
because of
done.
my woman. But the word of
Let me-
God says that a man obtains favor when he marries a woman, right? So what I gathered from what you said was that you, although you, I mean, a man are great, but a good woman added to your life makes you greater. Right? That would be fair to say because she's supposed to be your help meet to help you meet what God created you for. Right? But again, a lot of men get married or are out here in this world. You don't even know your purpose. Right? So how am I supposed to help you meet your purpose if you don't know what your purpose is? And that's why I think women's roles in men's life are being devalued because God created me to help you meet something. Period. That's
Okay.
all that's it. All I gotta say right there. I'm done. That's it.
Okay. Are you finished? Okay.
That wasn't no bar, Dwayne. Don't you make that face.
Right. So again, what happens is when you assume, you make an ass out of you, not me. Right. So again, I never said by my mouth that I devalue my wife, nor that she has no value. I was simply expressing and making a point on what I was talking about. You pulled this assumption yourself. Again, if you've ever seen me, humble dad, prototype, lit, and Hink. No, I think the world of my wife. I take such good care of my wife because of what she provides for me, which is peace, harmony, health, right? And help. This is a house that I bought, but it's her home. So again,
that's good. So
don't cut me. I didn't cut you off. I didn't cut you.
have to wait,
ma'am,
Jamie.
I didn't cut you off.
Wait.
I didn't cut you off, right? So again, it is not nor do I have the responsibility or the job to exalt my wife so you could feel a certain way about it, because what me and her share is what we share. But again, what happens is, like I said, because I express a true fact and you don't like the way it sounds, it becomes that I'm depriving or not giving my wife something, because this is how a lot of Black women think, right? And the truth is, if we're being totally honest, you assume that on your own accord, not off anything I said. Is that fair to say?
What you said. I only repeated what you said. If we could run the tape back, which I will. You said a statement, and I am responding based on, I don't know if you're married or not. I'm responding based on the way that you spoke in regards to women in general. You being married was not even on my mind. I don't even know you. I don't know if you're married or not. So I'm not saying you have to elevate your wife. I'm talking about just speaking about women in general, because I don't know you. I don't know you're married. I don't know if any of y'all are married.
Let me provide where the misconception, the misunderstanding was. When Rick was communicating, he was saying that he was referring to when Tavia said "let," right? And so he said, and she restated that was the wrong word for her to use, because no, "let" is not the correct terminology. Rick was saying, well, the only thing that y'all get to, that actually let us do, is, since y'all have control of, is sex. So he was saying that y'all, that's what y'all do. He didn't say that's what y'all, that's y'all only value. He was saying that we are men already, and we are great. He wasn't saying that a woman doesn't make us great. He's saying that a man should be great already, and she's coming along for the ride of his greatness. You're saying that based on the scripture, once you get with this man, you're his helpmeet. He needs to have a plan so that you can help him meet that plan. So y'all were discussing two different things, but you thought he was saying something different than what he actually said. Will anybody on the agree with that? The panel?
Yeah, yeah.
I understood it to me. Oh, go ahead.
No, please. You
No,
have the floor.
Latavia, go ahead, because it was a let word that was from you.
Yeah, and I understood Rick to mean that that's the section of the relationship that we control, not that was the only thing we offered.
Yeah. Is that good, Jamie? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
jump.
Okay, cool. I'm cool with people disagreeing, but I just want clarification when we dialogue. And I've been knowing Rick for, has it been 2 years, Rick? So I kind of know his perspective versus what you're saying, Jamie. So I got you. And if he was off, I would have told him. Dwayne, what you got?
Yeah. No, I appreciate Jamie. I appreciate where you're coming from with that. I got what Ricky was saying, but I appreciate you adding that note in there about that helpmate, because that portion is mighty significant. And I think also for men, there is a letting piece for men in that area too, is letting your wife allow you to be greater, right? So if you're already great, add that ER, and it could be a hard ER, as they say, if it needs to be. But yes, that greater piece. So in it, I think that's an opportunity for men as well, as for allowing women to operate inside their femininity, women allowing men to operate inside their masculinity, and it's a perfect harmony because we allow each other to be better with our presence, or blessing each other with our presence. So I appreciate both y'all's perspective.
Lops on you.
You know what? I'm so glad y'all let me go last. I'm finna clear this up, man. Now, to answer your question, what is the value of men determining the pace of a relationship? It is to gain knowledge and wisdom about the woman he's about to invest into. And I'll tell you why. People can be chameleons for a long time until you rub up against something that doesn't line up with who you are and your values are. You can have people say all the nice, beautiful things in the world until the rubber meets the road. You know what I'm saying? I had a situation where I was with my ex, and I didn't agree with how she wanted to raise the kids. You know, I said, hey, the kids are starting to be manipulative. I don't think that's the way it should be. And then she said, well, that's the only way how you get anything out of life. I was like, wait a minute. I can't go along with that. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't align with my values. I wasn't raised that way. But see, that conversation didn't happen until the opportunity presented itself, you know? So I think the main reason why to have that pace is so that somebody's value system reveals itself. I'll give you an example. Just like Jamie was misinterpreting what Rick was saying, and she said that women are only good for, you know, having sex and making babies. Well, in sales, I'm going to tell you like this, that is a classic miscommunication. I'm going to tell you why. A woman being able to have a baby is what we call a feature. Okay. It comes standard on all models. You see what I'm saying? Now, the benefit is if she's nurturing, if she's loving, if she's cooperative. You see what I'm saying? Those type of things. Does she always have something positive to say? Does she take care of other people that's around that protects you? That is a benefit. And then when she said that a man finds a wife out of a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord is the operative word. But every wife does not provide favor. If that was the case, we wouldn't have a 50% marriage situation. You see what I'm saying? And then most times, most women divorce the men. So how is that going to be a benefit to the man? It's just like what Rick said the other day. You know, it is what it is. You know, and I think, and we had these conversations, it's the nuance that dictates the pace, because people don't always say what needs to be said because they don't want to sit on toes. Just like Tay was saying, hey, she said, let. Well, that's a trigger word for men. You don't let a man do nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's what we say in our mind, of course. But at the end of the day, just like when Jamie was saying at the bottom, she was like, well, you only think that we're only good for making babies and having sex. See, those are the things that turn inside of people's minds that don't manifest itself until you apply pressure. So that's the reason why pace is important for men. The value is in staying long enough for that real person to come out, because a lot of times people like to wear the mask and they don't like to acknowledge it. But if you've been in relationships long enough to know everybody is not aware. I had a conversation with a friend of mine today. She was like, well, I'm just the greatest. I don't know why he's moving, he's dragging his feet. I said, that man got to move his time. I said, you're not as special as you think you are. I said, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you. I showed her a video of a girl saying the exact same thing she was saying, and the host called her an idiot. I said, if that's the case, that makes you an idiot. What is your value to him? Did you ask him? Did you have that conversation? You know, you're talking about, well, he doesn't take me places and he doesn't do this and do that. I asked her, so what have you done for him lately? Where is your value showing up? And I think in these conversations, we need to ask ourselves and be aware of ourselves. Where is the value showing up for that other person? We can sit up here and we can boast and say, I'm the greatest of all time. But if that person doesn't need what you have no value to that person. Not to say that you don't have value, but you don't have value to that person that you're courting. So that's the reason why pace is important, so that the value reveals itself over time.
Man, ooh, I'm transitioning. I'm listening to what y'all saying, and I'm wondering if men control the pace, all right, then how did the dating pool become trash? Anybody can talk, anybody can go. Just make sure you're respectful. We're going to go with Jamie because she the one that already wanted to start. Because, listen, you was the one that's like, that's why the dating pool trash. That's what you saying. I said, just hold on. You going to get to go. So
You said if men control the pace, then why is the dating pool trash?
no, it's like this. I'm saying that's what people had said, right? So if you're saying that because you had a different perspective on why the dating pool trash, right? I'm sure. But if everybody is saying that the pace is based on the man, then I'm just curious. I'm not saying that this is a true thing. If men control the pace, I'm just asking, how did the dating pool become trash?
Well, we'll go to what Lost had said. He said something that was valuable, was that during the pace, you're supposed to be discerning the person's character outside of the chameleon or the mask that they're wearing. And in this generation, or for several generations, people have not been dating or courting like that, right? They've just been dating or being sexually revolutionized, where they are just wanting to have sex. And so you have the dating pool has become trash because there's never been an intent except for what each person wants, that is usually not moving forward to something of substance or value. So they haven't had to take off the mask or, get to know anybody any further, because it hasn't been a desire for many people. And that's what I see. But that's how it becomes trash, is because people have been having trashy behavior. And that's just to be completely honest. I have a 16-year-old son right now. And my concern is that there's no women being taught how to be, how to even pick a proper boyfriend or man in the future. Like, you have a good kid over here, and then you have the bad boy, and the bad boy usually wins, right? And so, I have to tell my son all the time, please don't change who you are so that you can get a girl like that, because she's not worth getting. I had to tell my child that, but who's raising these girls? And that's just the real, thing. I know y'all probably are y'all probably been saying that, but it's the truth. And as a mom who's raising, somebody's husband, that is a concern for me, because I don't want him to, doesn't have very many options right now when you look at it. So that's because people have been acting like trash, and I'm just being, people have been acting like trash, and there's been no substance and no value put into people enough for them to see the value of dating properly for what they want. That's my answer.
All right, Jamie, who you got next? Coming next?
Let's
The dating.
go with who's shaking their head. You want Prototype? You want to go?
Prototype, you're on mute. Mute monster got you.
Listen. A mother's love is phenomenal, right? That she's able to see it now. Like, man, my son doesn't have a good pool to pick from. I'm raising somebody's husband, and he has no wife out here. Oh man, that was beautiful. Now you said enough for me. Go ahead, Aunt.
How did the dating pool become trash? Do y'all want the truth or the lie? Y'all tell me right now. Y'all want the truth or the lie?
Can you give me both?
We want the truth.
Okay.
Lie to me and then
let me lie to you real good first, right? Well, the reason why, right, is because there's no fathers in the home. There's no man to teach the young boys and the young women how to behave out in the social structure. And, it's just a bunch of bad people out there, blah, blah, blah. That's the lie. The truth is there's no reason to date anymore. There's no reason to court. Because when you get down to the nature of men and women, the reason why you are put upon this planet, if you are a fertile individual, it doesn't require courting. It doesn't require dating. It doesn't require a marriage. Box is on the discount shelf in the front by the sodas at Walmart. It's crazy how women understand that men are dogs and all they want is box, but don't make them earn it.
Did you hear what I said?
No initiative, no commitment. Here you go. So bad such that it ain't even here you go for a month. It's here you go, bruh. Here you go. Hey, little homie, here you go. Dude with the Corvette, here you go. I really need to express this to y'all, and I need y'all to understand this. Men get up every day, wash their ass, shave, put on clothes, and go to work to get money so that when they find the woman they want to court, that they choose to marry, that they have their stuff together. And if I don't have to do that to get some box, then what's the point? If I don't have to be a good man with morals and standing and take care of my children, right, and provide a space for you and give my wife a home, and I can still get some box, what's the point? What would be the point of would a lion get would a male lion have lionesses if he didn't have no prey to defend from? If he didn't have to protect them from the hyenas? We all here to do what we all here to do. And somebody not doing their job. And ladies, it's y'all. I'm sorry. As a whole, as a monolith, ladies, the only thing y'all was supposed to be responsible for. Humble Dad, have I said this before? Prototype, have I said this before? Dwayne and Lit, have I? Hink, the only thing y'all was supposed to be responsible for is y'all box, and most can't do that. The only responsibility a woman have really is to be able to tell the man that's her husband, that's her protector and provider is, I know this is your child.
Did you hear what I said?
That's the truth. You can hate it, you can cry, and you can deny it, but that is the truth. My sister can speak about how a wife will make you greater, Jamie. How a wife can make you better, right? But then won't acknowledge, right? Then not you in particular, but women in general, right? But then don't acknowledge, right? That if women can make men better,
You might as
Then
well go and
close
say it
your
out loud, Rick.
legs.
No,
Then close your
Go
legs.
and say it out loud. No, that ain't what he finna say. Go and say it outside. Go and say it out loud, Rick.
if
Wait a
women can make men better, why ain't y'all doing y'all fucking job?
Did you hear what I said?
I give up the mic.
Who going on that one? Have the ladies win? Miss Tavia, have you win? What's your thought? Because this is your first time on. What's your thought on what anybody has said thus far? Or you can give your own take. It's up to you.
I think the dating pool is trash because there's been an avoidance of keeping standards. I think women go into dating with standards, and then because there is accessibility elsewhere, we find that our options are limited. And so then we take our standards from here and we reduce them for the population that's available to us. And I believe that becomes a psychological thing that's not controlled mentally for some people. So there's a limit available for women, and women are reducing their standards. They're alleviating their standards. They're setting their standards aside to make room for those who don't deserve that space. So in short, the dating pool is trash because there are no standards being kept. And the standards that are not being kept are easily accessible elsewhere. So why do I need to earn this space with Latavia when I can just go next door and not have to do half the stuff that I have to do, that the next girl will let me do?
I think that's a valuable point. I'll go after you, Prototype. Go ahead.
I want to expound on that, right? Because women are saying, oh, because there's others accessible, then I have to lower my standards. That woman that keeps her standards still keeps her value.
Mm-hmm.
A man will come and wife you, treat you right, XYZ, do everything you require if you kept the standard for every man.
I agree.
The problem comes where you had no standard for him, but you got a standard for me. That's the problem. You know what I mean? But if one woman kept her standard, she'll get everything she wants and more. But the problem is y'all think that, because this girl over here with the BBL is selling it, that we're going to treat her, that's what we want, and we're treating her right. Opposed to you keeping what's valuable within yourself and understanding that a man's going to come along and give you everything you want because your standard is a standard, and we'll meet whatever standard is if it's worth it.
And not speaking for myself, because I know my value and I know whose I am, which places even higher value on who I am. And so I speak in a lot of areas where I'm doing ministry this Sabbath or this Saturday for a singles event. So when I'm on a panel for single women, or I'm attending Galentine's, or just in a space where there are single females, that accessibility is what's causing other ladies to lower their standards because they're running out of options, so to speak. I have not dated. I was in a long time. So I'm not sure what's going on now. I only know what I hear.
I disagree.
About which one?
About the accessibility.
I cannot
Right.
speak from experience because
Right,
I
right,
haven't dated in about 3 years. I was
right. You
engaged
ain't you
and
you ain't in these streets. I understand.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Yeah, but the thing is that again, these are false misnomers that's put out by women. My apologies, right? Women have more access to men just off of simple things like social media. These are talking points and discussions that's been made ad nauseum, right? The problem is that women have two. I ain't gonna even say they really have options. Shout out to Dwayne, right? They have the perception of too many options, right? They believe because they, do the, I call them useless women, right? When you see them on their profile and all they got is booty pics and check, you such a useless woman. You're good for nothing, right? You're good for the one thing you're presenting, right? So they believe they have options because men roll in their DMs, right? But again, it's not a true option. It's the perceived option that they believe to be real, right? And again, that takes you away from the, as we like to call them, the friend zone dudes, right? Or the orbiters that's really in your local area that are really looking to put something to you as a woman. Now, this is not every case, right? I think that'll be false to say, but not to say that that's the majority of what's going on, right? The majority of people, right, are meeting through either dating apps, Instagram, Facebook, Tinder, Switch, Hint, some stuff like that, right? And it shows if we're gonna talk about statistics that the majority of men will swipe right, while the majority of women all pick the same type of guys, right? So the argument you use as far as them thinking the options are smaller, that's not the case, right? They think it's a better guy out there than the ones that they really deserve, if we're going to be honest about
Yeah, I find that to be the case. Like, so there is a truth to what you're saying, Latavia, right? There's a truth to what you're saying. The truth of what you're saying is that there is a woman on the other side that have lowered their standards, right? And this particular guy, the women typically all want this particular guy, so therefore he has more options, right? But however, if you had your standards similar to what Prototype is saying, and you put yourself in spaces that I say the great guys operate, then they see you differently than the ones that are giving it to the other guy, right? So what's going on? Because I've been in education, I'm always around women, right? So what I see is that women want the guy that's already taken or is being looked at by a lot of women. I give you a case in point, right? I was in a conversation with these two ladies, and I was telling them the exact same thing, that women typically want the same guy, right? And this lady, she's like, "Oh man, it's this dude that," and she wasn't even paying attention to me and this other lady talking. She was like, "Man, it's this dude right here. He's so fine. Oh man, you know what? He's dope, man." She said, "The only thing is he married." I said, see, I told you, women really just want the same dude, right? As opposed to having a reality check of what you deserve, right? You don't deserve everything, but there is a type of dude that you should be checking for that will fit your line of thinking. One of the things I said on one of the shows is that most women don't require a man to have a religious tone. They don't require the dude to live under the presumption of Christ. They don't value him to come from a biblical standard, and so as a result, they get a guy that doesn't have a moral compass, and then they say, "Well, the dating pool is trash." Right. Well, because I don't hear it saying it from a lot of guys necessarily, unless they are marriage minded. And when I talk to some guys that are marriage minded, they say, "Man, these like I talk to. If you talk to what's my dude's name? He did my intro, CJ 100. Right. He's a single guy, and he's trying to live. He's been celibate. I think he said 8 months. Right. He said when he comes across women, that's all they want. Like they don't even want to talk to him and he has said that I'm not having sex. Right. So that's from a guy that is saying my mindset is different. And remember, we said that women control access to sex. Right? So it's a point in time where women have to assume the accountability as it relates to the dating pool, because as I told the women before, I said, listen, the way that people go on dates is when women say yes, right? Otherwise, there are no dates happening. And they were like, what do I do? I said, well, there should be major conversations before a date takes place. You should be able to understand who he is a little enough to say, oh, I like where this is going, before there's an actual we're going out to eat and this guy's spending his money and things of that nature. But I think that's what's missing from why the dating pool is trash. I think that if women such as yourself would hold the other women to the accountability that Prototype is talking about, you said, here's your standard. Y'all need to stay with this standard. And like Uncle Rick said, like dudes are going to jobs and everything and trying to create this lifestyle so that when the woman comes in, he's able to provide for her. But if he's able to get the box without doing any of those things, then what would inhabit him to want to change other than him seeing it from a father that treats his mother well? So that's the disconnect that's going on, is what I'm seeing and when I have a dialogue. All right. So does anybody else want to go before we get out of here?
Yeah, I want to go, Humble Dad.
All right, let's get it.
The reason why the dating pool seems to be trash is because people are overvaluing their estimation of themselves. You see what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. A lot of women think that, just because they have a snooty attitude or they have what Kevin used to say, they have a PhD.
I'm a PhD.
You know what I'm saying? That somehow brings value to a man. But the bottom line is this: do you offer him what he needs? You see what I'm saying? And the same way with guys, do you offer her what she needs? The problem is everybody thinks that they're great. Everybody thinks that their things and their stuff makes them think that who they are. If you strip away all your money, strip away all of your time, strip away everything that you think makes you, who are you? Who do you stand for? What are your values? You see what I'm saying? I'll give you an example, man. Probably a while back in 2008, 2009, here in Alabama, we had a tornado come through, tore up everything. I'm talking, it went to one of the most richest Black neighborhoods here in Birmingham, wiped it off the map. And I knew right then and there that money don't answer everything. You see what I'm saying? It's once all the cars have been removed, all the houses and trees, the land has been stripped. The most important thing was actually the people. The first people I went to go see about was my family and say, hey, are you guys okay? You know what I'm saying? We can always replace things, but for some strange reason, we have gotten the world backwards. You know what I mean? We love things and use people instead of use things and love people. And that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? And that is the problem. And the reason why people say the dating pool is trash is because they're not finding anybody who would give them what they think they are worth or what they think they deserve. I tell people all the time, man, your floor is not my ceiling. You see what I'm saying? Your floor is not my ceiling. The thing that you think that is so valuable to you, that's just my floor. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa, whenever you come into a relationship, I give you an example. Say, for instance, a guy has been making six figures his whole entire life. And it takes a woman her whole entire life to get to six figures. To her, that is an accomplishment. But to him, it's just another day in the park. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa, however you want to mix this thing up. But my thing is this: don't let stuff, people, and things dictate who you are, because it can be taken away. When they put you in the ground, they're not going to put your stuff in there with you. People are going to remember you for who you are and how you were to other people. Now, if we keep this same mindset, if we don't get better, eventually you're going to wind up being a special friend on the back of somebody else's obituary. And I assure you that is not how you want your life to be remembered. So with that being said, go out, Make sure that you add value to somebody's life by being a better person. And then the dating pool wouldn't be so trash.
So I let me give my perspective why the dating pool trash. I mean, I guess one thing that Tavia said was true, and that's standards. We both got to have standards, and we got to hold to it. You can't waver on them. And part of the problem, men will move in order to get what he wants from a woman. And when you do that, you show weakness. There's a lot of ladies, they need leadership. Even these ratchet ass women. If you show leadership to them, now they're gonna have to acquiesce to us. We should never acquiesce to a woman. And that's a problem. We move way too much for a woman. Way too much. And I think it's part of the problem why the dating pool's so trash, because we kowtow to them. We cater to them way too much than we need. And then we cater to the wrong ones. Them heifers I'm talking about that are trash, that dudes will cater to them. Like they the best thing going. They get one dime and they will accept the emotional and mental abuse that she's given. And you'll stay there because you don't feel like you could never get another opportunity at another dime. I mean, maybe you won't. But why stay in that situation? Why accept that? Let her go to the streets, because that's where she really belongs. That's another reason why the dating pool is trash. Man, as far as you and your 16-year-old son, sound like he gonna have to date outside his neighborhood. That means he might have to find him a good old snow bunny to accommodate what he's looking for. Unfortunately, I wasn't all for it, but shit, if that's what you need to do, man, don't limit that boy's options.
And they trash too.
Look, I understand, but I'm just saying he ain't got to just get white woman. It could be a Asian woman. Look, get that boy a passport right now, and allow that boy to venture out. I wasn't for the passport, bro, but man, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, I ain't got no issues with him. Good luck, man. If that's where you find love, man, may the best, all for the best for you.
That's what's up. This has been dope, man. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. We're at 972. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to this 1,000 mark, for sure. So those that are watching, I think it's like 31 people. If you ain't already did it, then do it right now. All right. So this has been a phenomenal conversation. Hopefully no one was offended in the making of this video. You know what I'm saying? And got to get a disclaimer. I might need to put that somewhere. Put it in the captions or something, I really appreciate the dialogue, the time, because you didn't have to give it to me or to us. But this is information that I think that people need to understand, that you can have a mature conversation and disagree. And even in the disagreement, there is something to glean from when you're talking to people that have a different perspective than you do. And I always want, I literally had more women that were supposed to come because I want there to be a space for women to have a conversation with the men. And I don't bring up just any type of dudes, I bring up individuals that I think will be able to not just carry a conversation, but also bring healthy dialogue where we're learning. And then we just not talking just to be talking, because that's not what I do. Right? I want to make headways, and I want people to be married. Whether you want to or not, that's my goal, and that's what my mission and my agenda is. So shout out to y'all that's here this evening. And other than that, hey, tell us where can people reach out to you, and then we'll get out of here. We're gonna start with you, Dwayne. Listen, next time I'm gonna get in the back chat and say, Dwayne, I'm about to come to you. Get off mute. I might need to text you. That's probably what I need to do.
Mute Monster got you, man.
What's insane is that he works in the tech field. I don't understand. You build computers, Dwayne.
Hey,
fake it till you make it, man. Fake it till you make it.
Hey, who put 2 mute buttons on here, man? See, somebody messed up with the programming. Hey, Prototype, we're gonna need to get you to talk to somebody about this. No.
Where can they find you, bro?
DwayneJonesPhotography.com. And on mute.
Latavia. If you want to, you can tell people where they can find you. If not, you know what I'm saying, it's on you.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Latavia Foster, the way it's printed on the screen, or the little tag is at Poet Just Tay.
That's what's up. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Hank, on you.
Well, man, you can find me on YouTube at Hink in the Basement, or at just at symbol Hink75. You can find me there. I'll do a show, usually sports talk on Mondays, and have grown man conversations on Wednesdays. So you can find me there 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Anytime y'all lovely ladies want to come over and have the conversation, we could do that too. Y'all fellas know y'all always welcome. Break bread with me. So that's where you can find me. Thanks, Humble Dad, for having me tonight, though. I appreciate that, big brother.
Absolutely, man. Hey, Jamie, on you.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Jamie Radiance Moorhead 7. I'm a Christian life coach, but I do have a podcast called I Wasn't Taught to Be a Wife. So I interview women that are married, and they tell their story on how they weren't taught to be a wife biblically. So that's it.
That's what's up. Is it a particular time y'all come on, or is it?
I do it. It's once a week. Once a month on the last Wednesday of the month.
All right. Bet y'all go check her out. Uncle Rick. You on mute.
My bad. I just followed you, Jamie and Latavia. So shout out to them. They are available on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram under rdubs, ARE_DUBBZ, or here on YouTube under Ricky Williams #TWT. I am doing a rebranding, so y'all bear with me. We got some good stuff coming. Y'all take care. God bless, and be safe out here. Stay dangerous.
That's a bet. And this, oh my God, Prototype. What can they find you, bro?
Man, you can find me on Tuesday nights, man. Prototype Kingdom, man, on YouTube, man. We're on Instagram, TikTok as well. Tomorrow, man, we're going to be giving flyers to the Black inventors and people that's doing stuff for the community today, Black History Month. So we're going, make sure we put people in light that's doing stuff today, and not always be looking back. So check us out tomorrow.
That's a bet. That's what's up. Lost in Translation on you.
Thank you, sir. You can find me here on Mondays on the Humble Dad podcast. Also, you can find me as well on Lost in Translation podcast. And you can also find me on the Black Man Unfiltered Network as well, too. Just about every day of the week. So that's mainly where I am. And sometimes we simulcast, so it depends. When you see the light come on in. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself comfortable. Thank you, Humble Dad, for having me.
Absolutely, man. And until next time, we out here. Deuces.
The boy is dangerous.
Bad feeling about this. You don't seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see them about to impact the world.